Hey guys, welcome to the Explain Like I'm Five session by the Dapp List. We started this series to run you through how to make use of the project on the Build Launchpad. Let's get into it. Today we have with us Blocktorch. Blocktorch is a protocol that is building a tool that smart contracts developers can analyze and observe the smart contracts they've written. Today we have with us Amine from Blocktorch. Super excited for this session. He'll be walking us through the Blocktorch interface and all of the really cool stuff. I particularly am excited and I loved when he talked about logs. Stay tuned, pay attention, and I'll see you guys. Over to you, Amine.
Amazing. So first of all, thank you so much. So my name is Amine. I'm one of the co-founders at Blocktorch. Our project is still a relatively new project, but planning to bring a lot of value to the community. We're getting a lot of good feedback about it as well, and we're really excited also to share it with the Dapp List community as well.
Awesome.
And yeah, and to the question, so what is Blocktorch about? I started Blocktorch with my co-founder Gary, and the thing that we wanted to do is we met both of us in like part of an acceleration program in Berlin, and we had one thing in mind. We wanted to push Web3 to reach the next level, to be more mass market ready, to just reach everybody, that we all use it, since we believe in the mission of Web3. And as you know, Web3 has many problems, so many problems. From design, to community, to tools, to many things. But we wanted to not just jump on any project and just start shipping whatever. We wanted to actually bring our expertise that we collected in our previous jobs to bring it to Web3 and bring real value. And that's what we saw. So my background is I worked as a software engineer. So I worked as a software engineer and I built like Web2. So I did cloud computing, worked on infrastructure, backend, front ends, many things. And I worked as a product manager. So I did cloud computing and I switched to product management. So I learned how to deliver products and make products that people love. So in Web2, that's something we already solved. So the products that you have in Web2, they're not crashing, they're working correctly, they give you value. You click in send money in PayPal, the money gets there. You connect to you search in Google, you get your search. But in Web3, you click on a button and you wish it works. And that's what triggered us actually. So how can we help with our expertise? So in Web2, the thing that we learned how to deliver reliable products, we said, okay, let's do this thing for Web3 and deliver something that brings value. And that's what we get to the idea of bringing the fanciness of Web2 development setup to Web3 as well. And the most important part is called observability, which is giving a tool to any builder to understand how a smart contract works, how the interactions are, where are the failures, where am I spending more gas, how can I be data driven about my development and the smart contract is working correctly or not. If I'm using oracles, are they working correctly or not? If I'm using IPFS, is it how slow it is? How can I improve? And all of these questions, you need a platform that actually observes all of your systems and give you insights to help you make the decisions and improve things and deliver Web3 products that are reliable and work correctly and people love. And that's the motivation that's just pushed us to just start Blocktorch. Without further ado, so how does that look like? So what we did is, so Web3 is a community thing. So Web3 is, we like to call it, so community-driven development. That's how Web3 works. That means whenever you want to do something, here the community, it's your first customer and it's where you would thrive. And what we did is we had endless, limitless calls with many builders. We went to many conferences as well. So it's Amsterdam, it's Barcelona, here NFT Berlin, many things like from multiple events. And we collected the feedbacks and the pains of the builders in Web3. So what problems do developers have? Because this is still a new technology and they have problems. And we found many of them. Okay. And the pains that we want to start with to solve for the developers, so we can give them a place to go to understand what's going on, are three things. So the first one, we wanted to, many developers, they just want to have this overview. Which contract do I have in which chain and what's its state and how much is it performing? Where are the logs for this contract and what's its address and all of that stuff. The second one is digging into the logs. You can go to block explorers and you can search for your contract. You can see the transactions, but those transactions, the data that you have there is not human readable. You have to decode stuff and write scripts and index things, and it's just a lot of work. And the third part is how do you become data-driven about your smart contracts? So how can you put numbers on those methods that I'm just exposing to the world, and some famous smart contracts, they have in their balances millions of dollars in value. But how can I be more data-driven to know how they're working, if they're working good or not, and if the users who are like behind it, when they click the button, swap token or buy NFT, if it's working all the time or not, why are they churning and things like that. And that's something that we solved with something called surface level objectives. I can tell you more about it. So starting with the overview, so it's the first thing that we want to do. So the overview that we want to give is that was what you see here. So whenever you integrate a smart contract with Blocktorch, what we do is we just in the background put agents for you, and those agents, they just start collecting data about your smart contract, everything, every transaction, every event, every log, everything that you have. We just start collecting it for you. And what you see, you just start seeing the visualization here. So of your smart contract, in this example, we took the example of OpenSea here. We took five of their public smart contracts, and we just started to added them to Blocktorch, and Blocktorch automatically started just tracking them, seeing how many transactions they're doing. See, for example, the gas consumption those contracts are doing. So, for example, you see like some spikes here, and like for the engineering team, they will just say like, oh, why are there spikes there at 10:26 and not the other time? I want to see more. Also, like for revert rates as well. So you can see like how many transactions are failing, how many are working correctly. So the ones are failing, you want to see why are they failing. So in this example here, you can see that all the contracts in Ethereum, they are red. That means, yeah, the metrics that we put behind those smart contracts say that the performance of those smart contracts is not really the best. Users that are using OpenSea or Ethereum, they're just churning, reverting their smart contracts, maybe because the gas is high or things are not working or connection problems or many things. But in Polygon, it looks good. And what happens when you navigate to one of those broken contracts? So the first thing that we show you, this is something still work in progress. We collect all of the transactions data that you have behind it. So as you see here, you can see everything. You can also select Ethereum, Polygon, and everything. And what we want to bring here is whenever you navigate to a smart contract, you see all the data that's behind that smart contract here directly for you. So I don't know, I look for successful transactions, I can find them. And I want only also in Ethereum, I can only look in Ethereum. And what we're building here, we're building something, a search engine based on something called Elasticsearch. All engineers know, most engineers know how to work with that. Powerful tool to look for every data behind your smart contract in every chain without switching any tool, without going to block explorers, without going anywhere, just stay in your place and you get the data. And this is something powerful for engineers to just debug and find problems. And the last part, which we're building as well, is something called SLOs. SLOs is just a way to be data-driven about the performance of your software. So what we're doing here is we're just calculating. So the first experiment we're doing is just the revert rate. We're calculating the revert rate, and we're saying we want like here. So for every contract that OpenSea has, in 96% of the time to actually have successful transaction. And we allow 4% of the transactions to fail. It's okay, which is really bad for Web2. If you show this to somebody, they will just, start screaming at you. Like, we have the 4 nines there. But it's Web3. We accept 96%. Where that's the threshold where we saw that actually OpenSea is behaving good. That means whenever you use OpenSea, there is a 4% chance that every transaction you do will fail. But when you go actually to Ethereum, it's much worse, as you see here, because of gas prices, and we expect maybe this will change after the merge. So let's see, we're tracking now transactions after the merge, this will change, and the performance automatically will be better for OpenSea. And as you see here, so we're just putting here many metrics behind the smart contracts of anyone who wants to use Blocktorch, and calculating the ratios to understand what's going on. So here the examples about revert rates, but we have many people who like following, let's say if they're like a liquidity pool, they want to follow like the liquidity balance. People want to follow like the gas consumption. People want to follow as well how long do like the mempool, like the pending transactions are waiting, and all of that stuff. These are data that's needed by engineers to actually give really good products in Web3. And that's what we're doing for them. We're giving them these tools to easily do these things and put this data and be more data driven and build really good, cool products for Web3 and move forward.
So yeah, I was asking, there was something you said while you were talking that you were going to go in depth on. But yeah, no, I do rather like is this the log page? Can you click on the log page? Let's take a look at that. Okay, yes, this is quite interesting. All of the logs, and this is spanning over 10,000 responses. That is rather interesting.
Yes. So now the logs are not getting collected, as you see in the last hour. Cost us money, sadly. But since this is still our testing environment, but in the coming weeks, it will be full power. So now we're running just a public beta. So it's not activated for everybody, but in the coming weeks, it will be public and active to everybody, and everybody will see all of the logs, everything nonstop.
Awesome, cool. So this is a very useful tool for developers to take a look at what their smart contract is doing, how the experience is, and how they could, obviously make better decisions with like upgrades and stuff.
Yes.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. This was really insightful. Again, everyone in the comments, in the audience, if you have some question you have for Amine, please feel free to bring them up. I think this is a really good primer, a really good opening into the Explain Like I'm 5 session. So yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Amine, for this walkthrough and the explanation of Blocktorch.
All right. Thank you, every single one of you, for tuning in, for joining us on today's episode of the Explain Like I'm 5. If you'd like to see more videos like this, head over to our YouTube channel and watch as many videos as you can. If you'd like to stay up to date and get consistent content and notification, remember to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. And if you like this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And let's get the next billion people onboarded in Web3.